This is a fun one. So there is a study by MIT just completed on the brains of ChatGPT users. So their headline was, MIT just completed the first brain scan study of ChatGPT users, and the results are terrifying. So this is from handle AI Researches. We'll put the link of this post. This is a study from MIT. So long story short, the results are not good. We have talked about this a little bit in the past. We've talked about social media and how that might affect our attention span, but this is just a little more specific. So let me just jump into a couple of these. AI isn't making us more productive. It's quietly bankrupting our cognitive abilities. Here's what 4 months of data revealed. Okay. So they have examples of writing an essay. 83.3% of people using ChatGPT couldn't remember what they wrote just minutes after finishing.
Minutes.
Which sounds about right. I mean.
Well, I think I do it for, like when you learn lines for an audition. If you don't go over them constantly, like you forget them sometimes. Or instantly afterwards, I've forgotten them. Like stuff doesn't, if there isn't a reason for it, or if you don't have to put in effort for it to stay in your head, or you don't need it, then I think your brain probably just goes, all right, see it, that's fine.
That's spot on. I think, and I wanted to get into this a little bit later, but ultimately, and this is kind of now, obviously we're kind of laughing at this article. This is all real. This is all factual. This is a real study. AI in general is very polarizing. It's going to get more polarizing. It's easy to just kind of laugh at it. We know that AI is going to be a powerful tool. It's going to be useful in so many things, many apps and many programs. But ultimately, my biggest fear is that we're busy doing a bunch of short, quick, fast thinking, Googling things, chat GPTing things, using AI to find things, and not doing long, slow thinking, like learning lines for a scene.
Even reading, like I used to read, I grew up and through most of my life read every night before I went to sleep. Like I would read a book in bed and fall asleep. That I can't tell you the last time I did that because I scroll my phone now and I hate that I do it. Like I really hate that I do it. And I'm like, tonight's the night, I'm going to get back to reading. And my concentration levels are shot, I think, just from using the way I use a phone, the way I scroll. And I used to beat myself up for this. Like, like, what are you doing? You're fucking ruining your brain. But I realize that like, I am not only fighting my own attention span, I'm fighting like the combined brain power of everybody who puts time and money and energy into making your phone the most addictive it can be, keeping you engaged in.
They're winning.
They are winning. They're absolutely winning. To sell you stuff, to keep notifications was a big one. Everything is designed to just keep you engaged in this short form, low attention, low critical thinking, just like endless scroll that like. So it's not surprising that ChatGPT has that effect on people where they just don't remember. And I'm like, I haven't really utilized that until more recently. I used it to help me with an email the other day for the first time. I was like, oh yeah, do you know what? I forgot that AI exists. And it's dangerous because, it feels like the easy way out every time. You're like, well, okay, I'll just get this to do it for me.
And it helped you with that email?
Yeah, it did. It was a good email. So I was like, oh shit, yeah, that was better than that was more, polite than I would have put it. I was dealing with an insurance company and basically, yeah. Okay. So, like it modified, like my initial email would have been something like, where's my fucking money? Give me my fucking money. And then ChatGPT was like, where's my fucking money? Give me my fucking money, please. So it was, it just softened the blow a little bit.
Well, there you go. The power of AI. I will say on the reading thing, I was so blown away. I was, I'm late to the party on many slang things. But when the first time I saw TLDR, someone texted me too long did not read.
Too long didn't read, yeah.
I was so blown. Well, I mean, first of all, I absolutely would have never guessed it. And then them explaining it to me, I was so blown away that was even existing, that it was even necessary. And then here we are, that was, months ago. And now I'm realizing, it is very valid. This is the world that we live in. Everything is TLDR. What else here? Other fun things. Brain scans showed the damage clearly. Neural connections dropped from 79 to just 42. That is a 47% loss in brain connectivity, if anyone cares about that anymore. If your computer lost nearly half its processing power, you'd say it's broken. That's what's happening to our brains of ChatGPT users.
Half our processing power. My God.
And back to our little writing metaphor. Teachers couldn't tell which essays were written with AI, but they knew something felt off. Some descriptions: soulless, empty of real content, flawless language, but no personal insight. The human brain can sense cognitive debt even when it doesn't have the words to explain it. And I don't want to sound like an old fogey, and it's easy to be so black and white with this. We know it's a tool. We know that we're using Google. We know that we have all this technology at our fingertips. I'm wondering if we're at a place in society, and we want to read more books, but we don't have the time. Are we willing to be uncomfortable? That's it.
No.
Exactly. The 30 seconds it takes if your internet is slow for your phone to load. Dealing with ads on YouTube. Are we willing to deal with the time it takes to read an article versus the TLDR? The long journey of, let's say, writing a novel, creating a short film, editing something. Or is it the new standard is just going to be pop something into AI with the correct prompts and it'll come out in 2.5 minutes. This is another metaphor. I was in a pinch. I was editing something. I was touching up a photo of the pyramids in Egypt. And I was like, okay, well, let me just try ChatGPT. I don't want to take the time to remove some of the tourists in the background and fix it up. Let me just throw it in there. I threw it into ChatGPT. It removed all the tourists. It also changed the color and removed the texture of the sand.
Oh.
So my point is
For the better, or was this a nightmare?
for the worse. It wasn't horrible, but it was off. It's like everyone was saying of these ChatGPT essays. It just didn't look real, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm showing everyone a picture of the pyramids. Dude, is the sand really that smooth? This didn't look real.
Yeah.
So there was part of me, it was like, okay, this is the perfect metaphor for AI. It's like it did what I wanted. It's slightly off, and then it removed the texture, and I had no control over it. Am I going to keep putting in prompts, put the texture back in the sand, blah, blah, blah? Can you not change the color? And at that point, I just didn't use ChatGPT at all. And some people don't care. I did, and I just left the people in the background and left the tourists in there. AI is not perfect, and it's actually kind of nice that it's not perfect. Eventually, we'll get to the point where we don't actually need to do the slow, hard work. Why? If you had the choice, would we actually choose to do the slow, hard work? I feel like real writers, and I said this even beginning, I said this years ago when we just started talking about AI, real writers actually like doing the long, hard work and actually enjoy the process of writing.
Some do. I think the smart ones probably. I think the smart ones probably use it as a tool. You know, I actually spoke to a writer friend about this, a very accomplished writer, and they use you know, AI as a tool, but like also said that like AI cannot do what I can do. It would take them longer to if they had ChatGPT write a script, it would take them longer to make that script good than it would to write the script themselves from scratch. But they can use it for prompts and they can use it for certain things or for research. It's a tool like anything else. I think as well, like, you know, there's resistance. One of my friends is a comic book artist and, you know, had some resistance to everything being digitally drawn now as it is, you know, but also has had to adapt and use that as well. So I think it's kind of the people who use it effectively can use it as a tool. People who depend on it entirely, I think, are fucked, to be honest, because that's not.
Yeah. When researchers asked ChatGPT users to write without any AI help, they did worse than people who never used AI at all. This isn't just dependency, it's cognitive atrophy. Like a muscle that stopped remembering how to move. You know, there you go. It's these skills are getting weaker.
So I just don't know. Do you know anyone who uses it solely? I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can really be a writer if you're just using AI as a way to write. But like,
Let's talk about this. I personally don't want to be the last one at the party, and I also don't want to be an extinct dinosaur. So I'm going to do the work and be as open as possible. 100%. If you're writing, AI can help you find better adjectives. AI can help you craft certain things. I mean, it can amplify the skills that you already have. So, say for example, I saw a video that was for basic writing. This is an ex-journalist. He's talking about how he uses ChatGPT. They put it in a way that was pretty spot on. AI or ChatGPT or a tool like that is essentially an assistant who is very savvy that you can be mean to.
probably not a great practice either.
But if you had a writer's assistant,
I get it.
you don't need to take the time to be extra polite to them in a human social. I mean, here's the thing. I get why that's a selling point. I get why, for a basic level assistant, that would be handy. And there you go. And it's in every law office. Every bank is using it. And all the analysts are being told by their boss to start using it.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I mean, that's the argument. One of the arguments against AI is that it kills those jobs and it robs people of the experience. Like having an assistant, that assistant is presumably an aspiring writer, or a law clerk or whatever. You're robbing them of that opportunity to learn. So, what does that produce down the line? What kind of workforce does that produce in writers? Or now look, there's people who find a way, they always have, and they'll figure out how to write, but it kind of takes away that pipeline of people coming up and learning that way.
That's
I think
a great
probably
point.
in a lot of positions, like not just writing or law, or I'm sure like a lot of those production positions will be made obsolete. A lot of VFX and special effects positions, I think, are going to go by the wayside.
That's a great point. That's a great point. On that note, you're 100%, and this is what people were worried about during the strike, and there was in the stipulations of contracts, it was the size of the writers' rooms. They introduced AI is allowed in writers' rooms and those tools, but this idea of apprenticeship is dying. You're completely right. Those positions aren't going to exist. And I think it's actually a big nod to create your own stuff, because that's the only time you're actually going to have the experience of building something, editing it yourself, directing it yourself, writing it yourself. Because on the upper level of TV shows and films, it's going to be Ryan Murphy, Shonda Rhimes, and then everyone else.